So it's a here we go, but technically a reverse one, as Sosa leaves Forest. Afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well and welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up, I'll tell you the details about Sosa's departure from the City ground. I'll talk to you about a bit of a fire sale going on at Juventus and Forest may be getting involved in that. And it's here, the light's here. It's a bit blurry because of the camera settings, but there you go. You lot know saying, where's the neon Forest logo light? And there it is. Anyway, let's get into the news. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. And let's kick it off with this Sosa news. So Romano has tweeted out about Sosa to say, it's done. Here we go. Ramon Sosa back to South America and in particular going to Palmeiras. It's a $16 million deal, which I believe is about £10 million. And yeah, it's done deal. He says Palmeiras have agreed to sign Sosa from Forest for, $14 million, not $16 million. Correction. Formal steps to follow. Deal done. And here we go. And I'm not happy about this one. I'll be honest with you. I still think he's decent. I just haven't seen enough of him in the Premier League to come to that determination for sure, and I would have liked to have seen a bit more. And the other reason this worries me a little is because we know going into this transfer window, Forest wanted 2 additional wingers. Now, you could argue that was in light of the idea of Sosa going and potentially Jota Silva going. But now you add Elanga potentially into that list. Now we are looking at 3 wingers. And to get 3 decent wingers in a transfer window where the boys are back in training now for their pre-season, you know, we're a month and a handful of days away from the actual kickoff of the Premier League. Bloody hell, it's not that far away when you think about it. Okay, now I'm panicking. Getting 3 deals done on wingers is not going to be easy for Forest. And I personally, again, no ITK stuff on this. I just think Nuno didn't fancy Sosa, or maybe there was a personality clash there or something. Maybe it was after the whole tweet where he was talking about bench warming and all this stuff. I still think there's a player in there and it's just an untested resource. But you know what? In Nuno we trust, as the saying goes, and what have you. Let's see what it's replaced with. My judgment this transfer window is always going to be, okay, if X player is going, I will judge once Y player has entered the building. If I see that as an upgrade to X player, then fine, I have no problems with it. If I see it as a downgrade to X player, then I'm going to be annoyed. So let's see what the plan is to replace. Now, Forest are linked with a few wingers. We're seeing obviously the likes of Bakayoko, but apparently we're not favourites for him, even if Elanga was to leave. We've had Yilmaz on and off all summer and January. So there are still a couple of names floating around. Obviously that scrub Tim Weah didn't want to join Forest. So, and Fofana, I'm very skeptical about it after the interview we did with Ben Jacobs. So I'm a little worried in terms of the time frames, and it's not just about signing the players, it's about integrating them into the squad and making sure that, you know, they're ready to hit the ground running. That's why I like business to be done early in a transfer window, so you're not panic signing towards the end of it. But there are 2 other names, moving on into the next story, that we do need to discuss. Now, Vlahovic is, according to reports coming out of Italy, Juventus have slashed his price in half. They initially wanted 27 million, I think it was euros, for him. Now they brought it down to 13 million euros or pounds. Might be pounds, whatever it is. Anyway, it's cheap. And a 25-year-old, they want him off the books because of his wages. He's on 200k plus. And they see it as too much and want to move him on. Now, we know Forest have been linked with him. We know Manchester United have been linked with him, and 1 or 2 other clubs as well. However, I feel that the interest from Forest and Vlahovic has died down a bit. Now that Igor Jesus has been announced by Forest, we've got Chris Wood. I do still think we need a third striker, but Vlahovic for me, probably too similar to Chris Wood. I don't know. I was for him at the start of the window, excited by the name and what have you. But I'm just more convinced by Igor Jesus these days, I have to say. I like what I'm seeing with him. And I think Igor Jesus has the potential and probably will be a better player than Vlahovic. Vlahovic on 200 odd K as well would have to take a pay cut. There's no way we're paying that for him. I don't think Forest go in for him, if I'm being honest with you. I think this one, we can scratch it off. Watch us now go and sign him tomorrow. The second player, from Juventus that is definitely on the move is one that Forest have been linked with for a while now. From back in January when we first started telling you about the links to Douglas Louise, and even this transfer window, there have been kind of peaks and troughs on the interest level with Forest. Now, there's been a few other clubs that are sniffing for him. Manchester United and of all teams, Leeds United have weirdly been linked with him. But the noises coming out now from Italy is that Douglas Louise will definitely be leaving Juventus this summer. I really want him. I think he would work really well in our team, in our system. Yes, there are some kind of superiority complex issues with him, I would say. If you remember back to January, he was holding out for either Manchester City or Manchester United. Well, now United don't have European football. Hold that. Is his kind of thinking of the situation slightly changed? Would he like to join Forest and potentially play Europa football, which hopefully we should find out about at the end of this week? Or is he still being a bit pompous about where he wants to go? Even if he's still being pompous about everything, I'd still take him, man. I think once he gets through the door, he'll be convinced of the project. He'll be convinced of how we need to play, how he fits in, and he can do that either playing the double pivot, he can play in the 3, he can play as the 6, he can play as the 8. He's very, very versatile. And depending on which Villa fan you speak to, some still speak to him very highly, and others were kind of heartbroken and holded a little bit of a grudge against him the way he left to go to Juventus and everything. So I would take him. I'm there. As far as I'm concerned, we still need a midfielder. We still need 2 to 3 wingers. We still need a left back as well. And Nuno still wants a backup goalkeeper, which, by the way, I haven't really seen any fresh names linked in that goalkeeper position. So we'll see how that goes. Livakovic, Nuno, if you're watching, is available for $5 million. Just go get him. Absolute bargain. So those are your stories. Few other rumors knocking around, but nothing too substantial to share with you guys. So just a nice quick update on everything that's going on. But how you feeling about Sosa? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you've hit that like. Make sure you've subscribed. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.